Hello, welcome back to Unraveled. I'm Brittany, and today we're going to talk about some goals that I set for myself. So, I set some crochet and knitting related goals for myself back in December, and I have not looked at them since. I have not been choosing my projects with those goals in mind at all. So, we're going to look back on them and see how I'm doing more than halfway through the year. And while I do this little goal check-in, I'm working on my market bag. It is very close to being finished. We're just working on straps right now. So I'm on the outside part of the straps, and then I'll be doing, this is the outside. And then I'll be doing the inside. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, so the first goal I set for myself for 2026 was to learn Tunisian crochet. I had never really been interested in Tunisian crochet at all. I knit and crochet, so I kind of feel like Tunisian crochet is a way for crocheters to get a knit look for a project without actually knitting, even though I know it is so much more, especially when I was looking up pictures to make this little collage. I found so many Tunisian crochet projects that I thought were really cute and that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. I did learn how to Tunisian crochet. I have not finished a full project. I haven't really even started a full project. I basically just watched some videos about how to do it. I did a few stitches, I did a few swatches, and then I found that it's not very stretchy, at least not as stretchy as just your average like single crochet, and I have been using that for bag straps. So you'll see in my last video, one of the bags, I used it as a strap, the Tunisian knit stitch. And I do really like how it looks for that. It has the look of knitting without being stretchy like knitting, so it works really well for a bag strap. But I still haven't made a full Tunisian crochet project. So would you count that or not? Like, I do know the skill, and my goal was to learn the skill, and I did that. So I don't know. Is it finished? Is it not finished? It's kind of up in the air. What do you think? Goal number 2 for this year was to learn brioche knitting. So that is kind of the opposite reason from Tunisian crochet. For Tunisian, it was just kind of, I want to make sure I have this skill. Like, I want to know all the things. And this is one that I don't know, even though I don't really care to know it. For brioche, I love the look of brioche knitting so much. I don't know why I haven't done it before this year, because it looks so soft and squishy. I've missed out on so many different patterns because I'm looking for a knitting pattern for whatever. And the ones I'm drawn to almost always use brioche knitting. And then I pass them up because I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to learn that yet. And it's not because I don't think I have the capability to learn it. I'm just like, I don't have the brain power right now to dedicate to learning brioche knitting. And it's probably something like Tunisian crochet where I could sit down with a video and, half an hour later, I know what I'm doing. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. I'm not always as good at knitting as I am crocheting. Crochet just clicks with my brain in a way that knitting doesn't always. Knitting is a little bit more of a mental challenge for me at times. So I think that's what's been keeping me away from it. So have I done it yet this year? No, I haven't. I still haven't. I really, really need to. Maybe soon. I don't know. If you have any good brioche knitting channel suggestions, like for tutorials or beginner patterns, I would love to know. Drop the links for me because I need all the help I can get. I don't know. I'm just intimidated by it, and I don't know why. It's just yarn. If it doesn't work out, I can rip it out and it's fine. But that is something that I still want to do that I haven't even attempted. Number 3 is to make a cardigan for myself. I have made cardigans before. They are usually baby or toddler cardigans. I don't think I've made an adult size cardigan. A couple years ago, I made my daughter a sweater, but it was like a pullover knit sweater. But she was, how old was she? 10 or 11. It was an adult size small, and it ended up being a little too small for her. So that's the only adult size garment I've really made. I've never made an adult size sweater. I've never made myself a sweater. So I have started this one, but I've started it a few times. I bought the yarn for it. I started it and then I didn't like it. It was like a granny, I think it's called Granny Pop cardigan. It's like a granny stitch cardigan because I thought this is something that, like a project I'll enjoy making and that I will complete. But as I got like this far down, I realized, yes, I enjoy making it, but am I gonna enjoy wearing it? And I don't think I would have actually worn it. And obviously, if I'm gonna put the time and yarn into making a full adult-sized cardigan, I want it to be something that I'm going to wear, that I'm going to enjoy wearing and be proud to wear. So then I bought another crochet pattern. I started that. I think it's over here somewhere, and I haven't ripped it out yet, but it's another thing where I'm like, I'm not sure that I actually would wear this. I think part of the problem is that I have gone with a worsted weight acrylic yarn. And when you crochet with worsted weight acrylic yarn, it doesn't always have the best drape. It doesn't always look good. I don't know. I see a lot of people who crochet worsted weight acrylic cardigans and they look good, but I'm not sure that they're what I want it to look like, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already big and chunky and I don't want to add more bulk. So I don't think that I would actually wear it. So the thing is, I need to go with a knitting pattern, I think, for the cardigan. But my hold up there is, number one, I am a much slower knitter than I am crocheter. Number two, for me to make a cardigan, I don't want a garter stitch cardigan. I want stockinette or a lace pattern, something. I don't want garter stitch. So since it's a cardigan and it's open in the center, I'm gonna have to go back and forth instead of working in the round, which means I'm gonna have to purl. And it's fine. I know how to purl, right? But I don't enjoy purling, especially if I have like hundreds of stitches every other row to purl. I'm just not sure that I'm gonna enjoy making that. And then the other option, of course, is to go ahead and knit it in the round and steek it. I've never steeked before. I'm not sure that acrylic yarn is the best yarn to steek with. I think you can steek with anything, but I don't I don't know. I think for me to feel comfortable steeking for the first time, it would need to be like a nice, sticky, non-superwash wool. But what I've purchased for this cardigan is already worsted weight acrylic. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I just need to do it. I need to get it over with. I need to say, look, I made myself a cardigan and be done with it. And the next one can be perfect. This one doesn't have to be perfect. So do I knit it or do I just continue with the crochet? Let me go get it actually. This is all I have for the crocheted one. It is not very much, but I was just looking at it and I'm like, I just don't think that I like that. You know, it's not bad. It's not ugly. It's just, I don't love it. And I want my first cardigan to be something I'm gonna wear and enjoy and love. Obviously, this is not big enough at all. This is like a necklace right now. That's another thing too. Like, this is gonna be so high up on my neck by the time it's finished. I think I want like a V-neck, you know? I want it to be like that, not like up here choking me. I think the search continues for a good knitting pattern. I'm just gonna have to suck it up and purl and it'll be fine. We'll get it eventually, hopefully by the end of this year. Honestly, if I want to finish it by the end of this year, I need to do it like now, like immediately. My number 4 goal was to make one of these amazing African flower spiders or bats. And I did start this one. I actually crocheted every single piece for a spider, which is a lot. And I enjoyed crocheting it. Then I started sewing it together and I ran into the same problem that I ran into when I tried to make one of these before, because I did try to make one of them a couple years ago and decided I didn't like it, decided the projects weren't for me. But then I've seen so many people making these and they're so beautiful So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it this year. And I halfway did do it, you know? And then I started sewing it together and I stuffed it. And I just don't like that you can see through all the little holes. It bothers me so bad. I don't know. In pictures of other people's work, it doesn't bother me as much. And you can zoom into their pictures and you can see the stuffing through there. And I even got like nylon pantyhose to put the stuffing in. And it just bothers me that I can see it. So I threw away all those African flowers. I did. I threw them away. When I am fed up with a project, sometimes I don't even want to save it. I just throw it away. And that's what I did. So this one is just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time on a project that like irritates the crap out of me because I can see all the stuffing through it. Even if I could sell it to someone who doesn't mind seeing the stuffing, it just bothers me to create it in the first place. So we are marking this one off the list. If you ever hear me again in my life say that I want to make one of these, remind me that I do not want to make one of these. I only want to look at pictures that other people have made. I do not want to make them myself. And then we come to goal number 5. This is the only goal that I have actually kept in mind all year long. And it is to stash bust and make donation hats. Stash busting, I don't know. The first few months I was doing a really good job. I was keeping track of yarn in and yarn out. So when I finished a skein of yarn, like completely finished it, I would put that on my yarn out, or if I donated it. And I did donate like 2 big trash bags of yarn to some newer crocheters. That was amazing. That helped my stash so much. Lately, I have not been doing as well because you see this project's almost done. I'm gonna have this amount of yarn left, or a little bit less than this. And then that just goes back into my stash. At the beginning of the year, I was being more mindful of that and saying like, what can I do to finish that up so that that skein of yarn is completely gone? And I just haven't been doing that lately. And also what I was doing in the beginning of the year was keeping track of yarn in. So I was only allowed to buy, I don't remember what the actual number was. I think it was one skein of yarn per 3 out. So I had to get rid of, in some way, either by using or donating, 3 skeins of yarn to be able to buy 1 skein of yarn. And then I think in April there was some kind of yarn sale and I bought a big box of yarn. And then since then I just have not been keeping track. And I just haven't cared. I love to buy yarn, but that is something I need to be more mindful of again, because my yarn stash is out of control. It is so bad and I don't want to be like that. I mean, I do, but I don't, because it's very fun to say like, I want to make this project in the middle of the night and then just go shop my yarn stash. And I already probably have something that will work for it, you know? And that is very nice not to have to go to the store. But also, I would like to move out of this house within the next year or 2. My husband and I would really like to get out of the town we live in now and go a little more north in like northern Illinois, central Illinois. But we have so much stuff. So we do need to slowly be getting rid of all this stuff. And one of the best ways for me to yarn destash this year, I thought, was to make these donation hats. So my goal has been 52 donation hats, 50, 52, whatever. I said 52 just because that's 1 a week, but around 50, I'll be happy. I think I'm only at, I don't know, 16 or 17, something like that. I ended up giving one to my boyfriend's daughter. My boyfriend's daughter? What in the world? My daughter's boyfriend recently. So I'm not entirely sure on the count right now. I do need to get caught back up with that. Hats are pretty quick projects though. So I just keep feeling like I'm going to get in a hat mood and make a bunch of hats in a week and get caught up. But if I get too far behind, that's a little harder to do. However, I have done a decent job of staying mostly caught up with that. And I just need to remind myself when I finish a project to just make a quick hat, because I can make a hat in a day and a half, just depending on how much time I have. And that's probably what I should do with this when I finish, and then I can get rid of a skein of yarn and make a hat, and that's perfect. So at the end of the year, I'll be donating those hats. I'm still kind of indecisive about where I want to donate them. I really want them to stay local here in Southern Illinois somewhere, and I would like them to go to people who are actually in need, people who might be cold without these hats. So I'm looking for like a homeless shelter, or maybe even if I could donate them to a food pantry and they would be available for people if they need them, if they want to take them. I'm not sure. I need to contact people closer to time, like maybe this fall, and figure out like a definite plan. I don't want to donate to a church or anywhere that's like a specific religion, because I just want them to reach as many people as possible. And I don't want it to be exclusive to one religion, you know? Then one last like unofficial loose goal that I set for myself this year was to really make things that made me happy. I spent so many years making mostly plushies because that's what sold, or making things that, well, I made things to custom order for a while and I hated that. That is not the life for me. Then I made plushies because they sold well, sometimes custom, sometimes not. Then I was making things for markets. So I was bulk making things. Again, mostly plushies. And I was making them so that they would look good with displays. Like I actually really loved making my market displays and making them themed. So there was one market that was farm themed because it was like an FFA market. And I made all farm animals, and I got this little barn and I made all the chickens. That was really fun. And then I had another market where I did like a sweet treats theme, and I got like a cupcake display that looked like a cupcake truck, and I put sweets on that, and I made just tons of cupcakes and ice creams and all that kind of stuff. I curated what I made to markets and to the stores that I was in and to my own store. And I never really took the time to just make the things that I wanted to make that made me happy. And so my loose goal to myself this year was just to make things that make me happy. And even if they're not things that I actually want, usually I don't want my crochet. I want to make it. I'm so much of a process crocheter and not a product crocheter. I just want to make these things. I want to watch them come to life. I want to take a picture of them, and then I want them to go to a new home. So I just make what I like now. I put it on Etsy or eBay, wherever. If someone wants to buy it, they buy it. If it sits in my shop for like 5 years, then it sits in my shop for 5 years. I don't really care. But I have achieved that goal. It's too bad I didn't make that an official one, because then I could like mark it off the list. But it has been a very fun year for crochet and knitting. I do knit a little bit, guys. I just always say crochet. It has been so much fun. I've just made so many things that I want to make. I just kind of go where the wind blows me, and that leads to me having way too many whips, but it's fine. It works out okay. It's fine. So anyway, that was my somewhat mid-year goal check-in. I am doing okay. I don't know. Doing okay. I mostly need to continue with the stash busting and the hat donation. I need to definitely learn brioche knitting. That's a huge one. And I would like to at least start and make some good progress on a cardigan for myself. I think I can do that. I can do it, right? I've got the rest of August, and then September, October, November, December. We've got time. It's fine. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All my other links are in the little thing. Thanks for watching. Bye.